a goodie. Hi, I am Lisa. I am the ukulele fool, foolishly believing that a D sus2 chord is just a haunting winter chord. In this tutorial, we're going to tackle 6/8 time. Well, what is 6/8 time? Well, in this song, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Music moves in little packages of groups of beats. Some refer to it as time signature, and some refer to it, like myself, meter. And so in 6/8 time, you have 6 pulses in each one of those little packages. Pulse 1, 1, 2, 3, and then pulse 4, 4, 5, 6 are stronger than the others. Oh, but what do they mean when they say 8? Well, in classical music terms, it's 6/8 notes that makes up a 6/8 time signature or 6/8 meter. And so those eighth notes can be written out like this, but we tend to bar them together so it looks a little bit neater. So I hope you've learned something already, and if so, please consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and thanks to everybody that has. Ring that notification bell because I'm always producing new content, and consider becoming a patron because you'll get great benefits, including the chord charts like this one that's all annotated with all the things we're going to talk about in here. And then also I do live Zoom sessions, and you get to pick songs for me to do tutorials on. And speaking of patrons, Barb, you were the inspiration for this with your performance of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald at one of my Friday night events. Okay, less talking, more learning. This song has your basic chords of C, A minor, and G. And if you haven't noticed, I'm playing a low G ukulele. I have a link down to it below. I love this instrument. And it also has a D sus2. I use these 2 fingers here on the G and C string and the 2nd fret. And that's that haunting chord. So in order to do a basic strumming pattern for 6/8, you just need to do 2 down strums on beat 1 and beat 4. So the chord progression for this song: D sus2, A minor 2, C, G, and D sus2. Notice that I only did 1 downbeat on the C and the G. That's because they share a measure of 6/8. So you have to go C 2 3, G 2 3, D sus2. The song plays this chord progression throughout the entire piece, so let's just practice it with that basic strum. Ready, begin. D sus2 and A minor, and C and G and D sus2, and again. Just like that. I will make a note that Gordon Lightfoot sometimes puts 2 of the D sus2 chords at the end, but sometimes he doesn't. So I haven't seen a rhyme or reason to it, but I decided that I was going to copy what he did. And so particularly my patrons, if you heard me say music moves in groups of 4 all the time, well, this is one of the exceptions. This song is beautiful with just that basic strum, but if you want to level up your playing and then also layer up the interest that you have, because you can mix and match these strum patterns, well, you could do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going down on 1, going down again on 4, and 2 ups on 5, 6. When we put this together with the chord progression, I recommend that you still keep single down strums on the C and G. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, ready, begin. Up, up, down, down, up, down, and down, 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 up, down. below so that you can refer back to this anytime you need to. And now for something completely different. A triplet strum looks like this. Now, I'm not super proficient at it. I can do it, and the super proficient people use it to go really fast. But this is a good song if you're interested in doing something like that, and like Lil Reb, boy, he just goes like a million miles an hour on that triplet strum. I should practice it, huh? So, the mechanics. You're going to flick your index finger out like that. So instead of using a wrist action, it's all on the finger. And notice how my arm and wrist are actually pretty stable there. I'm playing the D sus2, so I'm going flick down, then my thumb goes down, and you don't want to carry that thumb down, clear down here. You want to keep it pretty contained, and then go back up with the pad of your index finger. So when you're flicking, it's the nail side that's getting it. So you're going nail, thumb, up, nail, thumb, up, nail, thumb, up. And I just switched chords on you. I'm playing a C there. Let's play it together on a C. Let's do it about 8 times, nice and slowly. 1, 2, ready, again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I have 2 practice sessions here for you. In order to incorporate this, let's just give our brains a little time to put it all together. So we're going to do each of the measures independently with itself, and then we'll ready switch in between. So just little breaks in between each measure. So that means that the C and G you gotta play together, but then we'll take a break before going back to the D sus2. 1, 2, 3, ready, begin. Ready, switch. Ready, switch. Ready, switch. Okay, I would do that for several days. Just getting used to it. Then if you feel like you're ready to take out that ready switch, then do it with me here. 1, 2, 3, ready, begin. I'm going to practice this. I want to get better at this, and I want to get faster. I hope you do too. I love fingerpicking with 6/8 songs. In fact, this pattern is what I teach in my first fingerpicking course, or learn your first fingerpicking pattern. I'll put a link down below. The pattern uses all strings. It uses thumb and 3 fingers, and each finger is assigned to a string. The thumb presses downwards or plucks downwards, and the other fingers pull up on the strings to pluck them. And you go, I'll play a C chord here, and you go down and back up. So you go G, C, E, A, E, C, and then you start the pattern over again on G. There are 2 ways to approach the C-G transition. The first way to do it is to start on the G, and you only go down to the E string. So G, C, E, and then G, C, E again. So when you're changing chords, you don't even have to finger the C. You play an A minor 7, E, C, and So I'm going C, G. The way that I like to do this is to just keep the pattern going. And again, I think A minor 7 instead of C, because that allows me to get my fingers in place for the G. And you just go down, hit the G, like that. So C, G. So this takes practice to get it all worked out, just like the triplet strum. And I can't say enough good things about the course that I offer, because it's 21 days to get you through that. It really helps train up your hand in small, deliberate steps. I'd like to share with you a little ornament that I do when I do the finger picking, in case you're up to leveling up your playing even further. On the D sus2, and I like to pluck it open first, and instantly put down my index finger. So now you could also do the same thing, not together, but on the C string you could also do it, and it sounds like this. So you have choices there. You could also do that on the G, and I like to do it on the A string. So I play an A minor 7 going down. So those are some options on making things a little spicier. Well, when I heard the song, the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald, I was in high school, and kid brains, you know, I thought it was about something that had happened a long time ago. I had visions of Herman Melville novels or something running through my brain, and so I was so surprised to find out that this actually, he wrote the song a year, or it was published about a year after the wreck had happened in 1975. So yes, a modern time disaster, and not that it's the only modern time disaster, and not that it was the most catastrophic one, but it was most important for what it did to changing things for the freighters that run the Great Lakes. So if you don't already know, the Great Lakes are super important for transporting iron ore and things from up north, like this was in Duluth, where the ship, near Duluth, where the ship had taken on its cargo, and it was delivering it all the way down to Cleveland. And this ship was well known in the fleet. First of all, it had been around for 17 years, and there was a captain that frequently captained this ship that had kind of like a disco theme, and as he was going through the various locks and the populations that are around them, he'd pipe out music from the boat, and he'd also, over a loudspeaker, do like a little narrative about the ship and stuff. So, you know, the ship had a fan base. He was not the captain on it board when the wreck happened. It was November. It was pretty stormy waters, and two of the freighters were traveling pretty much, you know, close proximity to one another when they started reporting from the Edmund Fitzgerald that they were taking on water. But no distress call was ever sent, and what exactly happened is still a mystery. But they do know that it went down. It was recovered or discovered in the depths of Lake Superior about 4 days later, and it had completely broken in half. So on the positive side of what happened in the aftermath of this wreck is that they instituted more safety measures. And, you know, I think, oh, where's that line in the song about nothing left is the wives and the sons and the daughters? You know, so I hope they have some consolation that this tragedy got more survivor suits on board ships. It got more frequent inspections of these ships before they went out, as well as increasing the freeboard, the amount of boat that is up above the water line. I love the word gitchigumi, and it is an Ojibwe word meaning great water or great sea. And there's been a poet that, and then Gordon Lightfoot, that call it gitchigumi, but it's probably gitchigami is more close to the pronunciation, but I just love singing it. Just a little afterthought here. Believe it or not, Gordon Lightfoot considers this one of his very best songs, and it is certainly a marvelous ballad. Let me know your thoughts. Is this your favorite Gordon Lightfoot? And I'll link up here my tutorial to his winter song. I really like that one. 1, 2, ready, begin. Legend lives on from the Chippewa on down the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons or more, then the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with the crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. And later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they've been feeling? Wind in the wires made a tattletale sound when the wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. When supper time came, the old cook came on deck, saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed ya." 7 p.m. a main hatch caved in, said, "Fellas, it's been good to know ya." The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. They may have broke deep and took water. All that remains is the faces and names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice-water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early. I hope you enjoyed playing that with me. There were a few errors on my part, mostly remembering to go not up on phrases, but down, and because some of them early and early. So I made a few errors that way. I'm not Gordon. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if there's other Gordon Lightfoot songs or other songs about November that you'd like me to do. Thank you so very much for your support. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, folks.